Okay, let's talk about this lesson. The second entrance to Leonardo's paintings. Enter from the user work display area. Recent creations. Is the most recent work created by the user. Let's take this picture with a more obvious style as an example. Click in. If we want to generate a painting like this image, click Remix to redraw. After clicking Remix, its positive and negative cues. Copy them all. Let's click Generate to see. Because my pixel settings are inconsistent with his original image. So there is a multiplayer problem when redrawing. Let's go back to the picture just now and click in. This time we are not in a hurry to remix. Observe the parameters below it. Set its pixel to be 512 by 768. And turned on alchemy and prompt magic. Well, we remember its pixels. Remix again. 512 times 768 is also recopied. We generate again. Good when the pixels are consistent with the original image, basically normal at this time. If we want to use the style of this user art, but I want him to change another action, can also. At this time we use the Image2Image function. Observe the pose of the original picture. Original image is facing right. Upload an image of yourself. We hope. He uses the style of the user work just now. Generate a picture with the head up and to the left. Pay attention to his pixel change at this time. The original image is 512 by 768. After we upload our image, the size above him becomes 1024 by 1024. That is, his size follows the picture. There is an init strength below the picture, is to adjust the influence weight of this picture. When we pull to the far left, this image has almost no impact. When we pull to the far right, let's try to see. Good. The picture it generates is almost exactly the same as our original picture. So let's put it in the middle and give it a try. At this point he has some elements of the original user work. For example, the hair color of this headdress. The image weight we give is still too high. Let's lower his weight again. Generate again. Image generated. Let's take a look. When the image influence strength we give is 0.16. Almost a perfect combination. His movements. Is an action similar to the picture we gave? But his style is the style of the original user's work. To be careful of. The priority we give to the image attribute, priority over user entries, it is also higher than the priority of the prompt word of the user's work. For example, our original user artwork is 512 by 768 pixels, but newly generated works, almost a square. It follows the picture we gave 1024 by 1024. If we in the keyword, there are other action requirements. He won't follow the prompt. The action of the generated picture will follow the action of the picture we gave. For example, if we add, a full body image needs to be generated, but he ended up generating just a close-up of the upper body, because our pictures only have close-ups of the upper body, and the weight of the picture is higher than the prompt word, so he is based on the picture. In the graph, we can also open the control network. When we open the control network, the following init strength is gone. Instead, control net weight. Control net weight has 3 modes. Click on this drop-down box. It has pose to image, edge to image, and depth to image inside. Pose to image is to imitate the action of the picture we gave. The edge to image is a wireframe imitating the image we gave. Depth to image is to imitate the depth of field of the picture we gave. That is, imitating the subject and the background, and make the background form the effect of blurring the depth of field. Let's try it separately. First we choose pose to image mode. Mimic the actions of our picture. Adjust the proportion of the control network to the highest. See what happens. You will find the picture is very strange. So we try not to go to extremes. Okay, now we turn it down to the lowest. Let's see what effect. You will find he has absolutely nothing to do with the picture we gave. The style completely follows the style of the user's work. So we put it at an intermediate value. Let's predict. He may appear as a shadow of our picture. There are also styles for user artwork. Click Generate. Found that he is basically the effect we predicted. But a new problem arises. 2 heads appeared. What to do? This circumstance occurs. It is because the scale of the picture we gave is inconsistent with the scale of the original picture. First try to tone it down with negative cues. Plus 2 heads regeneration. Well, it's getting weirder. So let's try to adjust the ratio. Adjust the scale of the figure we give to be consistent with the 512 by 768 scale of the user's work. 512 times 768 is actually a ratio of 2 to 3. But the reference picture we gave is 1024 times 1024, 1-to-1 ratio. So we need to adjust the reference image to a ratio of 2 to 3. Here's a quick way to adjust. Open CapCut and find this picture. Import this image. Click the plus sign to load onto the track. Point scale, select custom. We change the length to 512 and the height to 768, save. Enlarge the picture and adjust its position. At this point we have created a new image with a 2 to 3 ratio. How to export it? Click the 3 horizontal bars in the upper right corner. There is an export still frame picture at the bottom. Name it. Then export. At this point, we get a reference image with the same pixels as the user's work. We delete it and upload a new reference image. We get a 2:3 scale reference picture. Okay, let's generate again and take a look. Well, basically the effect is still okay. It was facing right and now it is facing left. But this doesn't open the control grid yet. Let's open the control network and try it out. Select Pose to Image. Then ControlNet weight is placed in the middle. Generate again. Well, he has the style of user work. But the action didn't quite follow ours either. It was originally a profile face. He becomes a positive face. We will increase the strength of the control network. Generate again. It seems that the face can't turn around. Let's lower his ControlNet weight a bit. Try again. It can be found from the generated pictures. It's pretty close to our reference picture. But his face is still frontal instead of profile. That is to say, Pose to Image has relatively weak control over the face. He can only control the movements of his limbs. So we can upload a picture with more obvious limb movements. Try again. We found a photo of a girl practicing yoga. The movements are more obvious. Take this picture as an example, and its ratio is also 2:3. At this point, we open ControlNet. First imitate the action to see if you can imitate it. Turn the action into a stronger position. Point generate. You will find that the movements of the hands are basically the same, but the legs are not made, because the original picture has no legs. Then we lower its intensity a bit. Generate it again. You will find he basically doesn't have the movements of the reference picture we gave. The AI played a new move by itself. But this hand still has that meaning. Lean towards our picture. Then let's try Edge to Image. Make his outline similar to our picture. The given ControlNet is 0.44. Let's drag it to the strongest first and have a look. Sharp. This action is almost exactly the same. Even the background door frame is copied. But he added an element of user work. Let's take a compromise and see. Well, this time, the effect is much more amazing. With our actions. He played freely with the background behind. Okay, let's try the third mode. Depth to image depth of field mode. You will find that he has enhanced the contrast between the subject and the background. More prominent subject, there will be a depth of field effect. Strong sense of separation from the background. We can compare this edge to image. Its effect is relatively flat. The background and the main body are basically integrated. The depth of field effect will make the subject stand out from the background. Well, this is ControlNet. When we sometimes want to open ControlNet. But when it is found that this switch cannot be used. At this point we just go to the top to close the prompt magic. At this point our image to image will appear. The control grid can also be opened. Alchemy also affects ControlNet switches. ControlNet is also unavailable if it is on. So if you want to use ControlNet to turn off Alchemy and prompt magic. In addition to using the remix mode to redraw user works, you can also pass image to image. Directly use user works as reference images to generate our new images. Use remix mode. We use the prompt word of the user's work and its ratio. Instead use image to image. We're using images from user creations. We can write prompt words by ourselves. For example, let's click image to image. The user's work will enter into the reference frame of image to image. Then we can write our own prompt words at this time. For example, we want to turn this beauty into an older person. But there is also the pose of a beautiful woman and the painting style of this picture. We can enter an old man in the prompt word. Generate. It will generate a pose that is similar to the reference picture. But the style is completely out of its style. Just using this depth of field mode. So we change ControlNet to Pose to Image. Try again. God, the action is gone. And all kinds of weird things happened. Try using Edge to Image again. Use Edge to Image. Basically the action outline is almost the same as the reference picture. But it doesn't have the style of this image at all. Why is this? Because we lack the description of the style content of the reference image in the prompt words. So if we want to use the user art style, it is recommended to use Remix. Instead of using image to image, it will make your style uncontrollable because there is no original picture in your prompt. Style description. Okay, that's it for this lesson. In the next lesson, we will talk about editing pictures.
Like, subscribe, turn on the little bell to prevent missing it in the future.
Peace.